Hi buddies, I'm Sudarshan. So this video is going to be the part 14 of our grammar series. In previous part we had talked about an introduction to degrees of comparison of adjective, right? So here in this video we are going to see about how to form comparative degree of adjective and superlative degree of adjective. In previous part itself I had stressed a point like in positive degree of adjective the word will be, the adjective will be in its base form. So instead of saying forming comparative adjective and superlative adjective, we can also say like forming comparative and superlative from positive degree. So because here the positive degree, the adjective in its base form only. So yes, let's come to the point. There are 6 ways of forming comparative and superlative degree of adjective. The first way is by adding er and est to the end of the word. For example, the word may be in a one syllable or two syllable. If you add a word, if you add a letter like er, then it will turn into comparative degree of adjective. If you add est to the at the end of the word, then it will turn into superlative degree of adjective. For example, small. If you add er, then comparative degree of adjective. If you add est, then it will turn into superlative degree of adjective. Another word like for another example like tall. So here if you take tall, adding er turn into comparative, adding est turn into superlative. That's all. This is the first way. And second way is by adding r and st. Which words we can apply this formula? This rule means the words which ended with e. For the words which ended with the letter e. For example, brave, large. For these words, these words are ended with the letter e, right? So by adding r and st, you can turn into comparative and superlative respectively. For example, brave plus r, braver. Brave plus st, bravest. Like large plus r, larger. Large plus st, largest. That's all. And third way is if the word is ended with the letter y and the before letter and the before the last letter, if it is a consonant, then we can turn into comparative and superlative by the ways we have to replace the y with I and we have to add er and est to turn comparative and superlative respectively. For example, if the word is happy, yeah, the last letter is y and previous letter is consonant. So what we have to do, we have to replace the y with I. Yes, happy, I. Instead of y we had put I. So what we have to do then next, if you add er, then it will turn into comparative. If you add instead of er, if you add est, then it will turn into superlative. Another word like easy, same. Instead of replace y with I, and you have to add er to turn into comparative. You have to add st to turn into superlative. And the fourth way is if the word is a one syllable word and the last letter is a consonant and the previous letter, if the previous letter is a vowel, then what we have to do, we have to double the consonant. That is a last letter. We have to double the consonant and we have to add er and est to turn into comparative and superlative respectively. For example, if the word is like red, for example, red. Yeah, the last letter is a consonant, before it is a vowel. So what we have to do, we have to double the consonant. R-E-D-D, red. Then we have to add, if you add er, then it turn into comparative. If you add est, then it turn into superlative. Another word like hot. So for this word, like last word is a consonant, before word is a vowel. What we have to do, if you add first we have to double the consonant. So T. If you add er, then it is a comparative. If you add est, then it is a superlative. And the fifth way is if the word is an more than two syllable word, more than two syllable word, then what we have to do, we have to add more. We have to more to the previous of the word. That is a prefix of the word. If you add this more into the prefix, then it will turn into an comparative degree of adjective. If you add a most, then it will turn into superlative degree of adjective. For example, if the word is a beautiful, then what you have to do, more beautiful, that is comparative. Most beautiful, and that is superlative. These like many things like we can form many such things. And the last way of forming comparative and superlative is by that this will not follow, this will an irregular of comparison. For example, if the positive degree of adjective is good or well, then the comparative will not follow the same order by adding er and est. This will be follow irregular comparison. For example, good, better, and for superlative it is best. So it will not follow any rule, or that's why it is an irregular way of comparison. I think this is the 6 way of forming so comparative and superlative degree of adjective. So that's all, buddies. In upcoming videos you will see how to frame an comparative sentence and superlative. That's all. How to turn comparative into superlative. All this stuff we will see one by one in upcoming videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.